is really hard work. You might not get a day off in weeks. When I knew that I needed to build a bulletproof buggy, I knew that I had to call in the experts, Al and Andrew.
Al, you got any ideas?
Yeah, got some ideas, all right.
My cheeks are hurting.
That's about a 14-metre difference.
Lock her on. Oh, look at that.
If you're as good as that in the kitchen, you are American material.
Get back to work. With all the work that Terrain Tamer's doing, I'm really hoping that this buggy will be as strong as it possibly can. Tools being so limited on the station, we decided to install the e-locker and gearbox at Mount Isa four-wheel drive parts.
Guess who you're standing next to? That's Rob from Mount Isa four-wheel drives. He's a Terrain Tamer.
I thought it was Sam.
No, he just ran over Sam and grabbed his shirt. So we're here to put a gearbox in your vehicle, a heavy-duty gearbox. But we're running into a bit of problems. We've got a failure with the diaphragm that works the governor.
Wanted to do a road test just to test out the gearbox and that before we pull it out, but unfortunately we can't really drive it when the thing's idling at 2,500 RPM, so we better fix this diaphragm in the governor first, and yeah, we'll take it for a drive.
At least if I get lost in the paddock when I'm mustering, the chopper pile will be able to find me with all the smoke going everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Someone might call the CFA.
So just Rob's going to take you through the removal and replacement of that. Bit tricky. Keep an eye on him. He knows what he's doing. He's done a few. These happen occasionally, but it's just, I'm glad it's happened to you now, so it's not out in the bush.
Yeah, exactly.
Bit hard to do out in the bush.
Fuel systems are very complicated. To simplify, this diaphragm is a part of the fuel pump that your accelerator controls. It's attached to the rack in the pump, and the rack controls the amount of fuel delivered by the injectors, and this in turn controls your engine speed and output.
Okay, Jess, you just move that last screw there and take the governor cover off.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that's it, perfect.
Yep, there we go.
You'll see, if you have a look closer, you'll find a tear. Obviously it creates a too much fuel situation which you're getting. I'll just get in there and remove that split pin for you. There's a split pin wedged in, because if you drop that in there, we get a lot more out.
I don't trust myself with that.
Okay, right, I might get you to hold the torch for me, but.
Rob pulls the governor out, and the problem is obvious.
So that's the remainder.
Jess pulls out the new diaphragm, and you can really see the difference.
I'll throw that one in for you and we'll be right to take for a test drive.
Cool.
There are many things to look out for when it comes to gearbox wear and gearbox failure. The common symptoms you'll come across are things like crunching in gears, difficult gear selection, or sometimes it can feel notchy as well, indicating detemp wear and things. The most common one is bearing noise. You start hearing whining and whatnot. Now, once again, your gearbox sounds pretty good. However, we don't know where it's been, but we do know where it's going. So we want to make sure that it's Terrain Tamer tough. And we're going to put a modified Terrain Tamer gearbox in it with all the upgraded components, which we'll go through later on and show you.
So this is a gearbox we're going to put in your vehicle very soon. Well, tell me, the one problem is when you go bush, you could be miles away. If you had something go wrong, it's probably important that we have the best possible parts in your vehicle.
So I might be miles away from anywhere, 3 hours away from somewhere where I can get it fixed. And then the cost of having a week's off work to get it there, wait for parts, it's quite important that it's running.
So we've got some parts that we put into this particular box that I'd like to show you, because we've got, this is a genuine kit, all the bearings we've got, genuine bearings, all Japanese parts, seals, special hardness.
So that's already all in here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. A little bit hard to see, but these shafts are different. This is the new one, which is in yours. But the easiest way to see it is that, see the little gap, the part there? That's bigger, but it actually puts fifth gear further in the gear. It doesn't take much, just makes it engage and wants to stay in gear. So this is fifth gear, synchro. You'd have a look at the engagement depth. See that indentation there? If you have a look at those, they're only about 2/3 of the depth of engagement. And they're also tapered. They're tapered a little bit, so once they engage, they actually tend to lock into gear and hold in gear.
Uncle Al goes through and shows Jess all the improvements that Terrain Tamer has made to this gearbox. This is the result of many years of design and experience.
Probably when Land Cruisers came out and we used pretty hard, probably the first thing that ever happened, people ring up and say, we haven't got any drive. And this gear thing here, which is the input gear to the transfer case, that wore, because every time you accelerate and decelerate, back and forwards, and it used to wear through the actual main shaft. So what Toyota had was spacer, just to make a bit of room, and they had another gear stuck on the side of here, which in case you wanted to drive a power takeoff. So what we did, we actually built that little beauty here. So we put the spacer and this gear together. Simple sort of solution.
So how often should we drain and change the
Well,
oil?
I'd probably say for your sort of work on this, that'll be 5,000 kilometres. That's probably 3 seasons.
Yeah.
So you could probably check.
But it does sit for 6 months, so should it be done once a year, like in my case?
Sitting is bad for it. In your case, I'd probably change it every season.
Yeah.
Well, that's the sort of oil that we just drained out of a transfer case. It's not oil, it's fluid, it's liquid, but it's no longer a lubricant. Fresh oil, new oil should look like that. Various brands of oil have different colours, some are green, some are blue. This is a transfer case, it's probably a vacuum operated one. That's the sort of look we see. As soon as you see that, we're in trouble.
So that oil from not changing often enough has done that? Yeah, right.
It's paint, it's like varnish. That's oil leaking out of the front seal, most likely because of play in the shaft. You will need to tighten that bearing. So we've got to take the tail shaft off. It's got to come off anyway because we've pulled the gearbox out.
I get started on taking off the tail shaft, which is a pretty quick job.
If you're getting the tail shaft off sometimes, it's very hard sometimes to compress that, okay? Sometimes if people grease that too much, you get so full of grease here that if you go to compress it, you can't. Also, it'll actually wreck the bearing because as the differential moves up and down, this shortens and lengthens the whole time. If sometimes you can't get that tail shaft out, you've often got to pull the grease needle out and push it up and all the grease will squirt everywhere. See the grease coming out of it?
Yeah. Wow, it's a lot of grease.
There we go. This has all got to come off anyway, but I just noticed your clutch slave cylinder is leaking. You can see how the boot's split as well, so it's probably gotten full of rubbish.
Okay, so that's a new clutch slave cylinder because yours is leaking.
There's a lot going on and a lot for Jess to take in. She's in the process of removing the clutch slave cylinder as it is leaking. Oh, Jess, come and have a look at this.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah, what do you reckon that is?
Water.
Yep. You'll see all the magnetic particles.
Yeah.
All the metal particles. And that's, not unusual to see when you pull a gearbox plug out. You'll often see a bit. You don't want to see a heap. So let's see what the business end looks like.
Yeah,
that's a fair bit of metal on that.
It is.
Yeah. I'd expect to see that much metal over 4 oil changes, not, 5 oil changes, not over 1. The gearbox crossmember comes out, and then we're ready to pull the gearbox out nice and slowly.
Hey, Al, Andrew, come here for a sec.
That doesn't sound too good to me.
That's all that paraphernalia for.
After a year of Al and Andrew teaching me how to do everything, I decided it was time to teach them how to crack the whip before I crack the whip on them. All right, I've just a bit of a home cracker. I've only taught myself, so I don't know all the names of them, but we'll start with this one, all right? Just a simple front crack. That's pretty good.
Is this a left-handed whip?
It's that I'm getting out of the way of that thing whip.
Okay, just give us a demo again.
There's just no safe place to stand around here, is there?
You really got to bring it up.
Is that you or me doing that? Yeah.
Al gave it a good go, but he gave it a good go. All right, we're gonna add the back one onto it now. So go forward. It's like a figure 8.
That's pretty interesting. Have a go, Ron.
I wouldn't be standing there.
Go on, never mind.
Whoa!
You're not at a safe distance either,
Let me just check that. That one might be broken. Let me have a quick look.
I'm pretty sure it's not broken.
Let me just have a look.
I'm quite confident it's operator error.
I think it's good.
I think it is, yeah.
right, we might have a bit of a competition now. Yeah?
I reckon I'm in with a real chance in this competition.
All right, we're gonna see if we can crack these cans over.
Yeah.
I can run over it with your bull buggy.
Oh, wacko.
Nah, I didn't make it roll uphill, Al.
It's coming up.
Now it's coming after me. Your turn.
Whip cracking
Damn,
Barbie. Redneck Barbie.
Get in there, show how it's done.
No, I could probably.
Who's boss?
Good. Ah.
There you go.
Andrew is actually quite good at the whip, but I'm not surprised because he is a bit OCD when he wants to learn something. All right, fellas. Get back to work.
sorry.
Back to the workshop.
Unbelievable. We're replacing the pinion seal in the front diff because it is leaking. Usually these seals leak because there is too much movement in the diff pinion. This is usually caused either by a loose pinion nut or pinion bearing wear. Filling up your new gearbox and transfer case with a bit of oil.
Cool.
You know how to tell when it's full?
When it pours out?
Correct. Beautiful, that's all done. So let's get all these tools out. We'll lift him up a bit so I can get rid of this train cart and yeah, go for a drive.
Sounds good. That feels better already.
Yeah.
Not as much slack in it.
Yep. Well, it's all got new detents and new selector shafts. I'm fairly convinced it's quieter in the cabin too. It wouldn't surprise me at all if there was quite a lot of noise coming from that old gearbox, considering the metal that we got out of the oil when we changed it.
Yeah. That was amazing.
I mean, it's funny what noises you end up coming to live with and not notice the difference. And it's only until someone who's never driven the car gets in and goes, "Oh, what on earth's that?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does it shift nicer? And
It does shift a lot nicer. It may not be like as much of a difference you'll feel as like dramatic, as in when you're changing suspension or something like that. But you know, I know that I can rely on it now, and that when I'm out on the station, if it breaks, well, it won't break down.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, how you going?
Yeah, thank you.
Good to see you again.
You too?
Well, is this for my buggy?
Sure is, yeah.
Yay! Okay, so we've got side rails, side steps. Do we have a few roll bars for it as well?
Yeah, we sure do. So this is the back roll bar, which we're going to have to fit once we've got the side steps on tonight.
Yep.
Then we've also got another hoop over here that's going to protect your front windscreen.
You're going to paint it pink?
We can do it if you like.
Do that. So I see you put tape up here for me to know where to cut. Which side of the tape are we supposed to cut from?
So we're going to be cutting on the windscreen side. Now, up on top, I've left out a little bit of a note.
Did you?
Just because I thought he'll probably stuff it up and cut it the wrong side. So yeah, we'll cut it on the right-hand side.
I hope you drew a little picture or something.
Even left him a little love note there.
He'll love that.
The guys at Dab Fab spent the last couple of days building the bar work for the buggy, and I can't wait to see how it looks fitted. Coming up on the next episode,
Diff day.
Righto.
I really think Jess will benefit from a diff lock in this kind of country. What we have over here is our train Tamer diff centre with an e-locker fitted to it.
We're going to get wheel spin going up here. Do you want to lock her in and see what happens?
Okay. As soon as I hit the e-locker switch, I could feel the traction straight away.